Yeah.
Hello and welcome everybody to Around the Saloon episode 3. We are here. We are we have holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a question in the chat that says what is Around the Saloon? They are in for the ride of their life tonight because we have lots of good stuff coming at them. So welcome, Super Chicken. Let's get right into it. Yeah, I called you out like that. You see. So debut season 3 crown. Corden's still rocking his season 2 champion crown. He's got his little Xerox Dorito crown, but our season 3 crown is upon us, among us. Sorry, and we are going with the Explorer's hat for season 3, straight out of Reno Jackson's head. The Explorer's hat has arrived. Who, at the end of the season, will take home the Explorer's hat as their permanent camera edition? You will find out. But if you notice, we have 2 Explorer's hats tonight. That's because Diamond never defended his crown. We're going straight up wrestling tropes tonight. Diamond coming back. He never lost his belt. Corridon got a belt of his own. Who is the true champion? We'll find out. Or is it one of the youngsters, one of the young rookies in Geranium Battle, or Always Just in Time? Are they going to combine our hats and take home both of them for themselves? We will see by the end of this episode. But let's talk to our guest tonight. Let's start off with Mr. Double Crown himself, Corridon. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me back. Yeah, it's gonna be. We're gonna have to see who the undisputed champion is. I mean, he didn't lose it, but he kind of vacated it, so we'll have to see how it goes.
He did.
I don't know.
He did.
Yeah.
He vacated it, but he took it home with him. What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
We'll
It's
find
a
out.
classic.
Yeah, we gotta hang both hats above the ring. See who comes out with both of them. Diamonds, welcome
Hello.
back.
Yeah, it was a good trip. And then it took me a bit longer than expected, but I've returned after 2 weeks, maybe even more, to defend my crown. Yeah, I really like the new hat. It looks really sick.
Ted already throwing shade. Big Ted says, "Let's go, Corridon. I like champs who actually show up."
Well, we'll wait for Ted to actually win something so we can talk more.
Ooh. Geranium Battle, welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. I agree with Ted. He likes champs to actually show up, so I'm showing up. I'm gonna be the champ. Take both hats. I'm gonna be the undisputed. Ayo, let's go.
The champ is here. All right, and last but not least, always just in time.
Always last time, both in this order and near last in Legacy Fantasy standings. Here I am. I'm really the things I'm enjoying is the energy you're bringing tonight, Mako. This is actually the most fired up I've ever been for Tavern Talk, mostly because this is the most fired up I've ever seen you for Around the Saloon, not Tavern Talk.
Yeah, I was gonna say we are not on Tavern Talk. I haven't been on Tavern Talk in many a seasons. Well, that's mostly because my internet is fixed. I got this swag new shirt. I was loving the fit today I had on. So, it's like, damn, I look so fly. And, let's get at it. We talked about it before the show. We have some hella good questions. Or topics, at least. You don't know the questions, but we have some hella good topics to talk about tonight. So, I think we're all kind of excited to talk about these. And we also have a special mystery question submitted by our residents board member Donde himself, and they don't know what this is. This was actually, you know what? This wasn't even a Donde question. This was a whole. If you would like to know what the board talks about in our spare time when we're not complaining about people pinging us all the time, it is topics like this last question that you'll find at the very end of the show, and then you'll be like, "Wow, they don't do anything." Anyways, let's get right into it. We're going to go clockwise like we normally do, starting with Corridon, Diamonds, Justin, and finishing off with Geranium. Question number 1 in our Mulligan phase. This is a reminder, our Mulligan phase is a general, hey, what do you think about this question? Give us your takes, give us your points, and I will disperse points based on however I feel. And then after that, we'll move into our face of tray, which is going to be kind of an agreement or disagreement statement that the contestants will make. And then lastly, we will cut 2 of our lower ranking contestants and then move on to our final 2 questions, our dual round questions. Let's start off with our Mulligan phase. And our very first question of the night is dealing with mercenaries. Gordon, mercenaries, will it see success or will it go the route of duels?
Money Pit. No.
Money Pit.
Money Pit. I gotta say it first. I think mercenaries will find success. I think game modes like that did very well. Slay the Spire does very well. It's really the only thing we have to compare to it right now. So I think it's going to find a success. Maybe it's not going to be as big as BG's. I think people might have an unrealistic expectation that it will be like Battlegrounds, which was kind of different and survived the onslaught of auto battlers after auto battler after auto battler because Hearthstone had such a great community already that really got behind it and gave it a driving force. Mercenaries is something like we've never seen. Really, I don't know. A lot of people say they understand it. I'm on the fence about it. The biggest part for me that I think a lot of people got a little bit upset about is the paywall there seems to be in it. If you want to do well, you might have to pay, or you're going to have to grind out quite a bit. So I think it will do well. I think just as Arena is still around, there's a lot of big Arena streamers. Battlegrounds is probably one of the biggest, stream Hearthstone game modes at the moment. I think a third game mode is fine. It keeps it fresh. It keeps Hearthstone rolling. And they are going to put a lot of effort into it, I think. I don't think Blizzard's just going to let it die. Unfortunately, as, Duels hasn't really gotten the support that it needs. The nerfs, the changes to the heroes, I think putting in, like, Diablo is super cool, too. So I definitely think it's going to be a mode.
All right. Before I throw it to Diamond, I forgot to thank Isocles and Big Ted for their subscriptions. So thank you for subscriptions. So we'll give them a little golf claps here. Guys, get this. Super Chicken just asked how the points work. He's gonna get in for a ride tonight.
Yeah, the points are made up and the scores don't matter.
Welcome, Diamonds.
Hi.
Hi.
Is it time?
It's your time.
All right. Well,
the time is up. Your time is now.
You can't see me. Yeah, I think Mercenaries. I've never played anything like Slay the Spire, so I can't really judge it off that. But I did play Duels for all of 5 games, and that was it. If I had a quest, so I assume it will go down the same way. And I know people who love Duels. So they're probably just gonna play Duels like that. But I don't think it's gonna be as big as Battlegrounds, because Battlegrounds is its like own little ecosystem now. There's like Battlegrounds esports. I don't think I think it's just more the casual like arena, maybe even solo adventure. I'd argue that maybe the Saloon adventures are better than this, honestly. Like, it's very scary when someone's like, hey, here's 200 Canadian dollars, purchase our game. It's like, okay, but I don't know how your game works. So maybe I don't want to pay 200 Canadian dollars for this. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it. Like, it'll probably be fine, but it's probably gonna die faster than Classic. So yeah.
Die faster than Classic. That's a pretty hot take because Classic died very fast. Justin.
I mean, I don't have as much experience in paying 200 Canadian dollars for things, but yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of those previous two takes. Corden made a lot of good points about comparisons to other game modes. Like, eh, it's not me, it's not people I talk to, but there are still people that play lots of Arena. Like, we have the internal Blizzard statistics, we have player statistics from HS Replay. Same thing with duels. Same thing even like thinking back to Dungeon Run. Just content finds its niches. They're putting a lot of developer resources into this, so I would presume it's at least going to come out polished and it's going to be different, and that's going to appeal to some people. Whether it's going to appeal to a wide audience and have the strategic depth to make it a superpower hit like BG's was, the TFT killer basically. I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. There's still so much about the mode we don't know. And watching the Trump and Regis Kilbin videos was pretty cool. It seems to have more strategic depth than at first I thought it would. And yeah, I'm excited to be surprised by it. Basically, I'm not buying the pre-order for my 200 Canadian dollars, but we'll see how it goes.
Canadian dollars are like Monopoly dollars, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have a few in my dresser drawer. They're pink, but maybe I'll get to use them at some
We have a
point.
new sideways one.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't read this way, it reads this way.
Wow. Look at you guys go. Geranium.
Hey, can we get a point up for all the Canadians in this call?
No, but I'll give Corden a point up for subscribing. Geranium, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts. So Corden described it a little bit like Slay the Spire. I actually think it looks a lot more like Raid Shadow Legends. I think we're going to be getting some YouTube commercials, and we're going to get some Rakara as a free hero, and 13,000 gems in the next update, along with a new adventure unlocked. Lots and lots of those types of things. I think it will see success, just like Raid, just like all these other free-to-play sort of phone games. But I don't think that it's going to see THL success like we do with BGs. Duels, of course, never took off in THL. Arena could never take off in THL. I don't think that we're going to see lots of THL players take it up. I think we're going to instead see it fracture the player base yet again. And we're going to have some streamers that are just mercenary streamers, like Dog's just a BG streamer and sometimes plays a little bit of standard. And we see, other streamers do just standard and basically no BGs. I think that it is doomed to that route, but I do think that, yes, commercially it will be a success.
All right. I guess we shall see, and time will tell. Mercenaries does have a PvP mode, so THL Mercenary Series win. Let's move from Mercenaries and let's talk about some of the changes that we may see pretty soon. So Alec dropped that tweet, what was it, a few weeks ago when they started talking about potential nerfs, and it was their timeline tweet about what they were doing internally in terms of BGs and standard nerfs and whatnot. And I think it was it yesterday, where they were supposed to be looking at possible changes if things were necessary. Am I correct?
Friday.
This past Friday?
Yeah, the 10th,
okay.
They were going to reassess.
They were reassessing and reevaluating. So my question, and we're going to go in reverse order. We'll start with Geranium here. Geranium, will we see more card changes based off of this assessment? And if so, what do you expect?
So here's the thing, is that this meta has been basically the same meta for the entirety of the season. We've seen, a few decks come and go. We've seen Stealer Warlock leave, but Quest Mage is still there just to counter the Quest Shaman and the Quest Warlock. Quest Shaman and Quest Warlock are still dominating the meta. even Elemental Shaman is still up there. I think that cards do need changes. I think that Canal Slogger is just so oppressive against so many different matchups that it makes Elemental Shaman and Quest Shaman into the beasts that they are. But do I think that we're going to see those card changes? I just think that Blizzard is in this state now where they're unwilling to really kill anything right now. They've nudged Flesh Giant a couple times, where they've made it 1 mana more and done nothing, 1 mana more and done nothing. They've toyed around with all these different changes, but it hasn't actually impacted anything, and I don't think they're going to actually impact anything in the future. So impactful changes, I don't think we're going to see. But Canal Slogger down to 4 attack, super impactful, would like completely shake up the metagame and make this an entire new experience. And I just don't think we're going to see it.
All right. Justin.
Yeah, I mean, oh, Geranium didn't say it. Sick, I can say it. Burn the witch. Okay, that's all. Yeah. Be the Lucia, please. Time warp on the stick's not very fun. The meta's, I don't know. I think the meta's changed a decent amount. Stealer Warlock was 15% play rate before nerfs, now it's 0. That's shuck up things. I mean, some people who don't like the meta, some people who do. The devs recently have been changing things up just to freshen up more recently, so I definitely expect changes, even if they come to the opinion that things aren't that bad, which I think is a fair decision. Yeah, burn the witch and just keep everything balanced with the cascading effects of that. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I know there's probably going to be nerfs for wild too. Maybe delete the 1/3 that just randomly procs your quest by 5. That seems pretty dumb. Maybe a few other things too to deal with the ripple effects from that. But yeah, as long as the witch is gone, I think it'll be good.
All right, Diamond.
Maybe just to trigger the Canadians in chat, we could nerf Jaina again too. That'd be great. That's the end of my wish list.
Okay, Diamond.
What's up? So I made a list. I actually prepared for this question.
Okay.
First, let's change Octobot and Mithril because mana reduction bad. People, I don't like it. No, I'm joking. I like it, but I know a lot of people on Reddit complain about those types of cards because when hands cost 0, people get angry. Also, we don't need a Lucia. Lucia, your time is gone. I was fine with Lucia for a while until aggro decks just uses it differently than intended, right? Where originally it's like, oh, let's steal someone's win condition. Now it's let's steal away your chance to actually do anything against me. And then also, I think this is I thought about changes because I assume they're going to buff things as well. I think Cornelius Rome should get a 5 mana because everyone thought that card would be good, and it actually has been power crept to hell out of it. So I think let's make Cornelius 5. It becomes a Jandis 5-drop as well. It's just a brilliant card. Can go off Tiny Toys as well. Like, why not? Make the game more fun. It's great. There's no problems with that change.
I'm not sure about that one, bud. Not sure about that one.
It's a 5 mana 4/5. It's sick.
Gordon.
Yeah, I think there will be more changes. I think there'll be more buffs than nerfs, or else I hope there will be. I think a lot of the underperforming quest lines need to be changed. I think Warrior needs to be changed up a bit. I think running bad pirates makes me upset. I think if they made it a little more class specific, not just pirates, made it, towards weapons. You literally have one interaction with the weapon, and that's drawing it. And then when the Juggernaut's played. I don't think nerfing decks like Warlock into the ground is a proper way to deal with the meta and how the community reacts and has these knee-jerk reactions to, oh my god, a Rod. Well, there's Warlock decks that are doing extremely well that don't run Rod. So mana discounts are great, but they're not the best. There are Rogue decks that are doing okay. Quest Rogue was doing all right before Battlemaster got nerfed into the ground, but it wasn't running Octobot. So I don't think the mana discounts are really the problem. The problem is just the meta isn't what people expect. There's always going to be people not happy if it's not an aggro meta. There's always going to be people happy if it's not a control meta. There's going to be people that are happy if it's not a combo meta, which is kind of what we're seeing right now, which is that weird, is Quest Lock a control deck because you control the board until you kill them? Well, it's just not the way the community wanted the quest lines to work. And I feel like when Warlock is good, people get so angry. Like it was the same thing with Q Block. It was the same thing when people were playing Ticketus and asking for Ticketus to get nerfed into the ground. Like it's not the problem with the cards, it's the problem with the meta. And if a majority of the community doesn't like a combo play, then you're going to see more visceral reactions towards these cards. Like Flesh Giant to 10 doesn't do anything, but it just appeased the masses for the time being. So I think there will be changes. Personally, I think if there's absolutely anything that needs to change, Backfire needs to go to 4 mana flat out. I think Backfire, tap on 2, Backfire 3, tap, first quest is done. Needs to be changed, but I don't like knee-jerk reactions. I don't like nerfs. I'd rather see buffs. I'd rather every class be viable and have counters and playable rather than just being nerfed into the ground until it's unplayable and given the priest treatment basically.
All right. Diamonds.
Yeah.
You don't have to ping me in chat, bud. You can just talk.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt. I can't interrupt the fellow Canadian. Anyways, I forgot my last card. Make Overdraft cost 0 mana, and here's why. If Overdraft costs 0, post-quest completion, they can't do Brucon Bloom Bloom, then Overdraft you off Fireheart. You know? It can't be off Fireheart anymore? It's sick. That's my
Diamond,
take.
these have to be the worst 2 buff suggestions I've ever heard. There's like hundreds of cards that see no play in this meta, and those are the
like, I'm
2
talking
you
about
choose.
quest lines over here. You're like,
What?
I like Overdraft. The best card that everyone said was the best.
This is fun. Hey, these are what I want changed, not what the community needs changed.
Diamond's like,
Diamond-
make it about me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That's strange. Why did
In
Diamond
chat,
pay it
does,
for?
does Diamond 22 fan agree with these suggestions? We need to know.
great. I mean, honestly, I didn't know what to think of because I'm really enjoying this meta. Besides Lucia, like, delete
Sorry.
Lucia, and I think this meta's fine. That's why I had those takes.
Well, we will circle back
that's-
around to Lucia in just a little bit, so hold your Lucia talk. Before we do that, let's talk about our last question in the mulligan round. Let's talk about Pro Series. So, 2 teams at the top of their respective standings in black and pink conferences, being Brushy Tuna and the Sheepies. Both teams with a pretty fairly sized lead over the rest of the competition in their respective divisions. So my question to you, and let's start with Diamond here. Are Brushy Tuna and Sheepies as strong as the standings show currently?
Oh, I could either really nice here or not nice. Because I have some opinions.
I want you to be
All right,
honest.
I'll be honest. I don't think Sheepies. I mean, in pink, I'd say they're strong, but I don't think they're the first place. Because if you remember, they haven't had their bye yet. And if you look at the points per week, my team, Boxing Wizards, NF2L, they're only like 0.5 points per week off, so it's hard to say. I'd say, however, I think it's safe to get with Brushy Tuna and Black, but I think they are like making playoffs still. Like Sheepies will make playoffs, but I don't think they're number 1 team. I think Brushy Tuna right now is the number 1 team and will stay the number 1 team. I think the people who can like upset them really is like Bread Ape if they jump over them, and then also for the Clowns. And I think Hyper Horizon's getting second or third. That's my takes on it. It's like pretty simple. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really want to trash people. I think that's the show for that.
All right, Geranium.
I unmuted the wrong thing.
Alright.
I unmuted the Twitch stream instead of audio. Brushy Tuna and Sheepies, I don't think either of them are as strong as the standings show. I think this is a trade for sure. Oh, sorry, not that section. So, Brushy Tuna is the top of the standings and is going to stay at the top of the standings for another week. I mean, that's not a question. They're 23 points ahead of the second place team, but the reason why they're 23 points ahead of the second place team is because they faced every single weak team in their conference. They no longer have any of the lower seeded teams in order to fight. They're fighting literally every strong team after this, one after the other, and they're going to fall and fall and fall. They lost their first week when they fought against For the Clowns. They're going to lose another week. This week, they're going to lose again the next week. Unfortunately, it's just going... Sorry, they can't lose this week. They're on a bye. But they're going to... continue to face their hardest matchups, and they're going to make playoffs. but then in those playoffs, they just aren't the same quality of team where, they're going to be in that top 4 like we see every single season. Brushy Tuna, we saw get there last time, but they just couldn't quite crack top 4, and then we're going to see it again this time is my prediction. Meanwhile, Sheepies is in the lead by 1 week because they got their bye this week. The other teams had their byes in previous weeks. I think after this week, we're going to see 2 other teams above them. I think we're going to see Popeye's Spicy Chicken Sandwich above them. I think we're going to see maybe APM above them, just because they're facing easier weeks this week. And so they're going to get those 15 points, catch them, overtake them. Sheepies is definitely a top 4 contender. They're just not top of the league, and they won't be for a little bit more. They need a few more great weeks in order to actually make it there.
All right. Let's go with Gordon.
I have a bit of a split decision on this one. I say that Sheepies is one of the strongest in their standings, and I don't think Brushy Tuna is. The reason I don't think that is because you hear the guys talking about buys. Well, all the other teams that are below the Sheepies right now also haven't had their buy. So we're talking about Undivided. We're talking about Spicy Chicken, APM. None of them have had their buys. And in the same position that has Sheepies been in, Sheepies has done better. Yes, they have had a lower opponent strength, but so is F2L. And F2L isn't like they're still lower in the 70s. They had their buy earlier on, but Sheepies is a dominant team. They were dominant last season. They went very far into a playoff depth, and they really didn't have that much to change. There's a reason that they're at the top and doing so well. On the side of Brushy Tuna, however, Bread Ape is second place. They've already had their bye, and they're already on the heels of Brushy Tuna. Now, the gap is going to get closed because of the bye that is coming in this week. But going forward, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Average opponent strength is great. It does show you that the teams that you have played aren't performing as well. But if you look in the Black Conference, there was literally only 2 teams that have had an average opponent strength that is, over the abundance of average. Bread Ape has a smaller one. No Pros here as well. Hype Horizon has had a low one as well. So average opponent strength is great when you look at it, but you have to compare it to the rest of the Pro Series and see what is actually going on. So I don't think Brushy Tuna is going to continue their dominance because as it continues, the playoff race, it's only 4 teams are going to make it, and it's getting tighter. Sheepies, on the other hand, has been extremely dominant, I think, and there's still the teams below them statistically that have to take a week off as well. Sheepies getting this one and having the point lead, I think it's a no-brainer.
All right, Justin.
Okay, everyone's already talked about everything there is to talk about with this, so what if I say it with infographics? Just a link in the chat.
Okay.
Just to give everyone a visual for what people were talking about. So yeah, Tuna's kind of faced all the bad teams in their conference, but they haven't just beaten them; they've beaten them with like 4 1s and 5 0s. These aren't just 3 2s; they're thrashing teams. So they have a lot of points, so they could kind of lose every week and still make playoffs. Sheepies has also been thrashing teams. Well, not quite as much as Tuna, but actually only 1 point less, which is rather remarkable because their strength of schedule has been a bit tougher. We know from previous seasons they're a real team. I don't know. I'm not going to repeat everyone's words. But yeah, I don't think we'll see these teams in the finals, but they'll definitely both make playoffs.
All right. Let's transition a little bit to thank you for the beautiful infographics, by the way. Let's transition into our face trade round. As a reminder, not just for the people on the show, they've been on the show before, but also for the people in chat because we evidently have some newcomers tonight. In face trade, I'm going to present a statement, not a question, but a statement, and then they are going to be telling us if they will be going face, meaning that they agree with the statement, or if they will be trading, meaning that they disagree with the statement that I pose. And then giving a short explanation as to why. This is meant to be a shorter round than the previous round, but let's get into it nonetheless. Our first face trade statement is about our favorite witch, Lucia. And who hasn't gone first? Diamond or Justin?
Justin.
Justin. All right, Justin. First up to bat, face or trade? Lucia is annoying but does not need to see a change.
Oh man, I so love going face, but it's just impossible on this one. It's time warp on the stick for 3. Okay, it's the highest mulligan win rate card in the deck in all matchups now in HS Replay. Like, it's the top end of the deck, but you keep it because it's that good in nearly every single matchup. It's the highest drawing win rate card. It's the highest. It's just a crazy card. How it's being used right now, it feels very unfair. Card should not exist. It's been queued for too long. Oh yeah, there's also like people in Master Store qualifiers, because the meta is more like counterable there, that are just running Control Priest with like 2 or 4 minions. That's become a meta strategy. Control Priest has like, I think off card the 3rd or 4th highest win rate in all of Master Store qualifiers, because there are just so many people playing Garrote Rogue that they're just running double Insight and very few minions to always find their Lucia, and that turns that matchup literally into just like a flip of whether you draw that minion or not. It just shouldn't exist. This is dumb. One of my favorite things matchups was last met in Barons when I was playing a Priest on ladder but didn't have a Lucia because I don't know, I enjoyed it. I don't know. And I would face OTK DHs, and it was a really bad matchup without Lucia, but you could still like try to find ways to generate a dragon to like tempo him out and still win. I didn't get there most of the time, but like that was a cool mechanic. Just reducing it to the coin flip of whether you draw this in time versus the combo deck is dumb. Never mind time warp on the stick for 3. Yeah. Burning bad word.
All right, Diamond.
Oh, is it time to trade?
Mm,
I'll trade on this one,
okay.
sure. No one else is gonna trade. Alucia is annoying, but it does not need a change. Because it was already changed.
So you're going
from
face,
previously
not
one.
trading.
Are you
Oh.
agreeing with the statement?
Are you agreeing with me?
Oh no, trade then. Oh geez. No, you're wrong. Sorry. I can't read. It's hard to multitask. I have 2 monitors.
Diamond, do you think Lucia needs changed or not?
No, Alucia's not a trade. I'm going face because it allows players to win the game with an aggro deck. I got 3.
You been drinking, bro? What's going on here?
No, my brain is far from school. I learned too much about C.
Icicles felt bad, so he bought you a point up.
Oh, thank you. No, anyways, it does not need to be changed because what
Okay.
really needs to be changed is Priest, the class itself, because it just be deleted. We should go back to 9 classes. That's my take.
Okay, go back to 9 classes, but not with Demon Hunter. Get rid of Priest. Okay, I'm actually on board with that. Gordon.
Trade. I disagree with your statement. Is what I will be saying.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, she does need to change. For a card to have been so obstructive in ways of dumping a combo, like, you know, it's OTK's Demon Hunter's worst nightmares when you Lucia and just see all of your stuff come firing out of your hand. Now it's just a way to lock your opponent out of dealing with your board. So she's gone from being this just like disruptive combo breaker to now just saying, look at my board, you can't do anything about it, have my empty hand while I kill you with Voidwalker attendance. It's just extremely annoying, and it's not healthy. I think the biggest issue is that more classes don't have hand disruption. You know, there's no more dirty rats in the game. There's no more like Azalina Soul Thieves. There's these things just don't happen anymore. And for one class to have the only way to disrupt a hand and do it so effortlessly, especially with being able to discount the Alucia and then play and then just dump any cards that you just don't want to see. It just doesn't make it a fair and enjoyable experience for anybody playing the game. Maybe somebody gets their kicks playing an Alucia and dumping a hand and just saying, haha, what are you going to do now? But I mean, I'm not here for it. So I'm going, that's a trade for me.
All right.
Lucia should be a minion in Mercs. Can have their kicks there.
All right. I mean, she might. We'll find out. Geranium.
Yeah, today that was a punishing question for people on the Ron side of history here. Yeah, this is definitely a trade. Elucia, Elucia needs to see a change right now. It's a bit more than just annoying because this is a combo meta. Elucia is so good into combo decks specifically, and because Elucia is able to see play in aggro deck, it just makes it so all the different points of counterplay to Elucia are sort of removed. You, if you're going to be playing a control deck where your hand is garbage for Lucia to take, well, sorry, but that means you're just losing to the aggro half of the deck. If you're going to be playing a combo deck where you're trying to beat them really quickly, then Lucia is going to be insane against you. So Lucia is extremely strong in this meta specifically, and so it should be changed in this meta specifically. Last meta, when it was in a control deck, it was just annoying. People were just complaining on Twitter. It did not need to see a change. But here in this meta, it is absolutely terrifying. In wild, it needs to see a change. Throw a bone for our wild players once in a while, okay, Blizzard? In wild, it is still just like everyone has their one win condition, and Lucia takes that one win condition, spits on it, throws it in the trash. Lucia, please, just like I don't know, put it up to 5 mana. If Hearthstone would ever do if Hearthstone would ever make a change that would kill a card, can it be now?
All right. So you just want to Thanos snap this card out of existence. Oh, Gamer Dude has a brilliant suggestion.
I actually agree with Gamer Dude.
Still playable, still discountable.
Still insane insight.
Still playable. So.
Emperor Thorson, wild.
Oh, Icicles, best suggestion. Elucia, change the text to your shadow minions have +1 attack.
The actual suggestion I've seen of it is just like
I don't know what to do.
The actual suggestion I've seen of it is either turn into something that like Chaos Gazer for Warlock, of something interacting with your opponent's cannon to making them want to discard, or change it to some like value thing of make you copy something from their hand.
Okay.
There's so many different ways you could rework it.
Yeah.
You could probably make it balanced right now if you made it a 7-mana 4/4, eat a minion in your opponent's hand and gain its stats. I think that would be a fine effect change.
What if they went with like the mind reader theme of like hand tracking, and you got to choose a card from your opponent's hands that they had to discard, but like, you couldn't see them, but you got to pick which one, like, like pick a card, but if you're hand tracking, you could have like a good idea of which one you want to discard. You know what I mean?
Deck trackers is just too easy.
So take
right?
Glimmerroot, but make it crack.
Glimmerroot was a good card. Don't touch my Glimmerroot.
I think it could be fun, and it stays on the mind reader theme. Anyways, let's Icicles is on board with me. I'll take that one. Let's move to our last question in our face trade round. After this question, we will be eliminating the 2 lowest scoring contestants, and we will be moving on to our dual rounds. Diamond, being in last place, would you like to go first or last in this question?
Oh, I'll go last. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, let's start off with Corridon, and we'll make a little Corridon, Geranium, Justin, Diamond loop. So, hold on. Okay, someone paid to have Justin's point get reduced. So let's talk about the Battleground series, which is something we actually haven't talked about on the show this season. We're talking about one team in specifics, and it's when I looked at these standings, I was like, this is kind of an interesting team to be at the very top because it doesn't include our normal Battleground series powerhouses. So, face or trade, Corridon. It's crafty monkey's world, and we're just living in it.
I'm going to trade this one. I don't think it is. I think before the meta shift, that definitely was. They were performing extremely well. 1 week, each member of the team won a lobby, so 10 points. I mean, there was a week that they were unstoppable. Meta shift happened, and I mean, just looking down the list, I mean, Damon, one of their top performers, he got an 8th last week. Canoe did keep it going for them and did well, but it's getting to the point where the meta's getting shaken, and they had a massive lead. I mean, a massive lead. Like it was not like anyone could ever catch them. It was that bad, and Risky Refresh has actually done an amazing job at pulling back and closing the gap on the week. I mean, it's still 30 points. They're still going to make playoffs, like Crafty Monkeys. There's no disagreeing with that they're probably going to be a top two team in the playoffs, if at all. But I don't think that the way that with the meta shifted up and just the absolute lunacy that is Battlegrounds right now with people trying to figure it out, I don't think they've 100% cracked the code on it. And not to mention, I know a lot of them are students. They're just getting back into school. They all just had to move back into res or wherever they may have been. They're in a heavy load of class schedules right now. And I know some of the lower teams, not lower, sorry, teams that are under them don't follow that same script. They're going to have a little bit more time to practice, and a lot of them aren't playing in other modes in THL. They're not playing in standard mode, like Conquest or Legacy or Hero, which I know a lot of these players are going to have to end up splitting their time between a lot of that. So I think they're playoff bound, but I don't think it's their world. I do not think we're living in it at all.
Alrighty. Geranium.
Okay, so right now they're at the top of the standings. They're 30 points ahead of any other team, and there's only 2 weeks left until we make it to playoffs. Now, do I think that the 30 points are going to evaporate, and do I think that Risky Refresh is going to overtake them? Well, we just saw Kanu get a first again, and we saw Owl get a second in that same lobby, and we saw, some top fours, and we saw... I mean, it's even though they're in a definitely disadvantageous meta for them, I still think everything's just working out in their favor. I'm going to go face. I'm going to go face. I think that it is Crafty Monkey's world. I think that they're not quite understanding all the different intricacies. Maybe they're not getting how beasts work against their demons or something like that. But this is something that can be easily corrected. Other teams were able to pick up on it. They're going to pick up on it at some point as well, and then they're going to start working better in this meta and really working together as a team. I think that they had a rocky start to this meta shift, but I do think that they are going to stay up at the top and. We're not going to see any more flaming posts, but we're going to see dominance still.
Okie dokie. Justin.
Yeah, we're talking about the meta shift, but really the biggest meta shift impacting them has been Canoe Will not getting punished for picking Cat because Lolnenko doesn't disconnect anymore and give him free minions like he did in the first 2 weeks where he got picked Cat twice and got first twice in a row, helped by these disconnects mid-game. That was the truly nutty part. The Lolnenko stable internet meta may be a tough one to adapt to for crafty monkeys. But no, I don't know. They were high rolling before it. Who's to say they can't high roll again, right? Like, if you flip a coin 10 times in a row, even if they got heads all the previous 10 times, that doesn't mean they can't get 10 more heads. Let's go. I'm all for it. The other Concede match team has climbed up to 5th as well. This isn't a crafty monkeys world. It's way deeper than that. This is a cum world. We're gonna end the season. Risky Refresh is gonna get caught from behind. We're gonna have a cum 1-2 back to back. It's gonna be great. No, it's actually not gonna be great, but there'll be a lot of cum. So yeah. Perhaps maybe because Lolnenko is on the other cum team, perhaps that was actually all a conspiracy that they were working together with the tactical disconnects to help out the cat picks. I don't know. Maybe that more of that will continue in the future.
All right. Diamond, you have to more than double your current point total to make it to the finals.
Is the time to take the show seriously now?
Yeah.
All right. It is Crafty Monkey's world, and we're living in it because I, as Cordons, made the point earlier about them being college kids. Turtle is a college kid who's an education major and has spent maybe almost all of his free time playing Stardew Valley. He has the time to play Battlegrounds, but he doesn't need to play because he's too good. Next point, Temple University. That's not a real school. It's fine. That point's invalid about them being college kids. Also, just in general, you have Canoe leading the charge, most points out of all of them, and then sure, Risky Refresh is climbing up there. I don't know. They were climbing up last season, and I didn't notice they weren't in finals last time. That's a bit scary. And Nenko, will his internet last the entire season? Nobody knows because it's Nenko's internet, and it could go out at any moment, just like this show. But Mako's internet's been good, so good job. And then I don't think anyone else is there. I mean, Donde's in this as well. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, Donde's team's actually making it kind of far, but it's Donde's team. They'll throw eventually. What other teams are there here? We got a team with Darkseid on it. Oh, well, that's doomed to fail as well. Jeez, trying to look for more people. Oh, it's kind of
You
it.
just need to make like 5 more points. You got this.
I need to make 5 more points, but I'm roping my Hearthstone turn. Not like this.
The rope's burning.
The rope's burning in life. What else is there? Hold on, just give me a second, Malcolm. My internet's buffering.
Steffi, Mayan, Donde.
Oh, true, Mayan. That guy's so washed. He only plays standard now. I haven't even seen him play Battlegrounds before. Steffi, what's the last time she streamed? I know when she streamed, she was really good at Battlegrounds, but therefore I haven't seen her streamed in a while. Therefore, she can't be good right now. God, I really grasp for straws here.
You are, bud. I'm gonna just cut you off. You're just.
I mean, I got 4 points. I think it's the most I got in the
did.
entire show.
Wait, he's about to raise dead another bristlebark. The comeback's on.
No, I think they're gonna win the whole thing. That's it.
Okay.
So
All
plus
right.
5 points for that, right?
So you're just turning your entire point around, saying they're actually going to win the whole thing.
That was my entire point
Okay. All right.
from the beginning.
Okay,
I said
my
it's
bad.
their world. We're living in it. But
Oh,
I'm saying
I heard you.
I said Corden's point
Mm.
was invalid about them being college kids because
Gotcha.
Temple isn't a real school. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, sadly, Diamond did come back. He returned from injury, but he is not going to be your undisputed champion. Who knows? Corden still may not because Geranium is there to take the title as well. So we're going to say goodbye to Justin and Diamond just for a little bit, just for 2 questions, and they will be back to say goodnight to you. But as of now, as of the time of these last 2 dual questions, we are going to be talking to Corridon and Geranium Battle. We have 2 questions for you. One of them is a legacy question, and the other is a Donde question. So we're gonna let Corridon go first in our legacy question, and then Geranium will go first in our Donde question for tonight. So, Corridon, question for you. Legacy series. When will the Serenite Pain Gang see a win, and will it be this week?
When? I don't. It's difficult. I mean, this is a tough one, but I just don't think we're going to see a win from them this season, to be completely fair. The team has done its best, I think, but it's playing in a very difficult series right now. In Legacy, they probably have one of the tougher divisions in Gold, and they're about to come up against Golden Wisps, who's the number 1 in Gold's conference right now. Not to mention, Serenite Pain Gang is, they're working in a new 1 seed who's, I mean, really at the PR that it is, should be like a 3 seed. They're just playing under PR in pretty much every single position. When you see a 50 PR, you typically like to see your 4 seed as a 300, and then you really get to abuse the fact that your 2s and your 3s are getting it done. Dark Seed is still having a good season, an average season, but Walker Man's struggling, Busenut's struggling, and Pascadarian is struggling. So it's a difficult thing to say someone's not going to get a win. This week's definitely not plausible, and don't foresee the season going too well for these guys or these people in general. Losing your one seed halfway through is difficult, and Legacy is very short this season. There's actually crossovers happening just to make it a bit longer, and I think there's only about 4 weeks left, and it's getting very close. It's curtain calls for the Serenite Pang gang, and how long can this go on?
Geranium.
Yes. So I don't know if this is if it's forced for me to argue the opposite point, but I'm going to argue the opposite point anyways because I believe it. I think that Serenite Pangang is going to get a win this season. They don't have much time left, I understand, but this is where it pays to do your research. Is week 4, we saw them do a 12-13 loss against it just scrolled off my screen against Flame Pimps. They lost by 1 point. If Duocat, who by the way is no longer on the team, got any points that week, got any wins, they would have tied or even won that week, despite the fact that Duocat, even if Duocat lost. Now, looking at the rest of the teams that they're going to face this season, they're going to face Golden Wisps, Hot Zilfs, Dad Legend, and the Defias Brotherhood. Golden Wisps, I will agree, top team in Gold Conference right now. I don't think they're going to have a chance against that. Hot Zilfs, Dad Legend, Defias Brotherhood. I think Hot Zilfs and Dad Legend, they could have a shot. Actually, sorry. I know I just said Golden Wisps is the top team. They're 3, 4, 5 is about comparable to the 3, 4, 5 on Serenite Pain Gang. I'm the only person on this entire show right now who's played against one of these, against one of the people who's still here. I've played against Walkerman. Sorry, Diamond, you're not on the show anymore. I played against Walkerman, and he was actually quite good, despite the fact that he is 0-5 right now. He's been going 2-3 a lot. He's been making it to game 5s quite a lot, even against 2 seeds. Okay, he just hasn't had that lucky break, and I think he's going to get the win. I think he's going to be supported by his team. I think the new person, Pescatarian, is going to get a win at some point. It's just the question of will it all line up in 1 week, and I think yes, it will. I think these players are too good to be so incredibly low where they're not going to have it line up at some point. They've had their unlucky weeks, and they're going to get a lucky week for sure.
All right. Before we move on to our last question, let me just -1 to Justin for trying to throw shade at me, even though I'm 4-1 in Legacy. I don't know what the fuck you're coming at me with here. Last question of last season. Yeah, well, you know what? You win some, you lose some. That's just called tanking your PR so you can fit onto a team. Last question of the night. We're going to start off with Geranium, and then we'll move to Corridor after that. And this is our Don't Day question. This was written, or not, I should say written. This was a conversation in the board chat earlier, and Don't Day, I was like, you know what? Let's talk about this on Saloon. I think it'd be a good topic. So, Geranium. Oh, shit. Hold on. I guess I should put this question on the screen, shouldn't I? Yeah. Please. Okay. Yep. There we go. All right. Oh, hold on. Dranium wants to point down Justin as well. All right. Dranium.
I like that.
What is the best Gatorade flavor?
Ooh, best Gatorade flavor. It's got to be Code Red. Okay. Code Red. It's got the tang. It's got the little bit of a kick in there, and it's got the gamer fuel going through it. Code Red is what I use every single time I do my gaming sessions, and that's why I'm going to be choosing Code Red for this question.
Are you speaking of Gatorade, or are you talking about Mountain Dew here, bud?
Yeah.
Sorry. I just had to do a Wait a second. Oh shoot. This is where it pays to do your research. So if we're talking Gatorade flavors. Okay, sorry. Talking Gatorade flavors, we're talking blue. Okay, we're talking whatever the blue one's called. That's the one that's good. I've had it all throughout. This is the thing that's on the sidelines when you're doing your races. When you're on the freaking marathon run. This this is the drink to get. You got to get all your energy pumped up. Blue is the flavor, the sweet tangy flavor to absolutely pump you up and get you ready for the day. And Team Hearth Legends is not sponsored by anything right now, and we could be sponsored by Gatorade with a little help. With I think it's maybe Blue Raspberry, the choice for today.
Are you talking dark blue or light blue?
Yeah. The light blue.
Okay.
Is there the dark blue? Okay.
There's a dark blue. There's like a regular blue, and then there's like a baby blue. That's
This is sky blue. It is see-through blue.
all right. Corden.
So I always like the joke where only cops know the names of Gatorade because it's always by colors. You never call it like ice blue. It's always the blue one, the red one, the purple one. I just always enjoyed that joke. That you ever trust somebody who knows the name of a Gatorade? But it doesn't matter because the best one, and this might be controversial, but it's the yellow Gatorade. I don't understand why people. It's the one that's in all of the commercials. It's the iconic one with the lightning bolt running down it. You know, when they're doing their thing in the gym and it's got that nice darkness to it and they're squeezing it out into the bottle and it's that yellow hint that really just picks it up off the bottle, off the black discount. That's the best one. It's the yellow one. It's no contest. It's in the commercials. They want it out there as the iconic color.
Yellow Gatorade, best Gatorade. But before they talk shit, your THL commissioner ridiculous hat is a yellow Gatorade main as well. So you want to the board? The board is backed for the yellow Gatorade. So if you want to attack yellow Gatorade, you're attacking the entire board. Just saying, because we talked about this earlier. And we were like unanimous yellow Gatorade S tier. All right.
For yellow, I should have picked yellow.
Huh?
For yellow point up, I should have picked yellow.
Yeah. How do you point down me? You don't. My show. Until someone else learns how to op this show, I run everything here. Corden?
Yes.
Unified's season 3 hats winner as of right now, at least until someone takes the hat off of you. Next week, potential or 2 weeks from now, if someone decides to beat you, we're gonna take Diamond's hat off right now. Bye. Yes. So, Corden, you have the floor.
Not a whole lot to go over right now. We're winding down in series. Battlegrounds has about 2 weeks left, and all the seasons actually started pretty similarly. Legacy winding down, so playoffs matter. Biggest thing is if you want to get on stream, if you have any key matches, reach out to the people that need to be reached out to. Reach out to Fish, reach out to Saku, reach out to Lotus Knight, anybody really. If you see, reach out to me. I'm one of the casters, but I can definitely get you to talk to people who you need to talk to. Don't at the board members, but just, if you see them, just talk to anybody. Get on stream. We love having people out there. It's been a little bit tougher with, a lot of moving parts with people going to school, people moving back to work, a whole bunch of things going on. But we love to see new faces, literally, because we're doing cameras now. If you feel it's, intrusive or whatever, then you don't have to. It's not a prerequisite. But definitely, we love getting newer people on stream. And I'm getting tired of seeing just Donde on stream. So.
All right. But speaking of getting new people on stream, a couple of our Around the Saloon regulars have had to take a step back for this season of the show. And we are currently looking for a couple, at least one, but preferably 2 people to step up and, be on the show every once in a while. We're bi-weekly, so it's not a time commitment. And you're never on the show back-to-back unless you win. So it's like a once-a-month thing if you would like to participate. If you are interested in being on the show or being a part of the Around the Saloon cast, then just shoot me a DM, and I'll talk to you about it. But yeah, we just need a couple extra boots on the ground for this season before we have some people returning next season.
Yeah.
You're welcome to stay on next season as well, but more as of right now, we need people. So
Take a run at the champ. Come take a run at the champ.
take a run at the champ.
Come on. I'm not undisputed.
As of right now, you do have the most wins season 3 too. So if you hold on to your win counts going at the end of season 3, then you'll have 2 permanent crowns above your head. So Ron could never.
Ron will never.
Hopefully we can get Brushy back too. That would be lovely.
Oh my god. You sick that day?
Points of anyone combined.
Huh?
Like if we tally up everyone's points at the end of each Around the Saloon episode, I think Corden just took the most points ever.
With 69?
69 there.
Nice.
Diamond, Justin, anything you want to say before we head out here?
That was a good show. I liked being on this one. Hats off to Corden. Literally stole my hat from me. But I think he's meant to for this type of show. He's really good at talking, explaining himself. And apparently you can't say bad takes and you have to get punished. Unlucky.
Oof. Justin, anything?
Yeah, no, I thought this was the best show that I've ever watched or been a part of. Thank you so much for good questions this week, Mako. Thank you so much for trying to help Dante. Thanks for all the energy and love and chat. This has been awesome.
All right. And Geranium, you wanted to say something before we head out?
Yeah, I just wanted to keep along the line of THL shoutouts. I wanted to shout out the other shows that are going to happen. Wild and Out is new. We got Heart Center on Tuesdays, and we got Tavern Talk on Wednesdays. You can catch me on Tavern Talk. I will never, ever be rooting for Donde ever again. Sorry, Donde, but you've sealed it. And I hope everyone has a great night.
All right. If you would like to go debate the fact that yellow Gatorade is best Gatorade, then I think that Justin is about to start a war in the general chat. But otherwise, we are going to head out. Make sure you stick around for the other shows this week. They're all at 9 o'clock every single day, whether it's a talk show like this or it's a casting stream, gameplay stream. Then make sure you come around and watch, support your local THL. With that, we are going to head out, bid you adieu. And we will talk next week. We'll have a Maniac Mondays tournament, but we will see you in 2 weeks. Wave goodbye. Awesome. Good night.